For 25 years, Sidney Sa has had one nemesis, the yellow fever mosquito. The insect is spreading, especially in Brazil, transmitting diseases such as dengue fever, chikungunya, and now the Zika virus. The number of infections has seen a dramatic increase, and the WHO is alarmed. Puddles are a major problem as mosquitoes lay their eggs there. Sidney Sa is on a mission to educate, warn, and raise awareness. Will she and her team manage to rid Brazil of this plague?
So once again, for everyone, so we don't forget, we're here to eradicate our beloved mosquito. So please, please, don't just take care of your own homes and water tanks. Speak to people. This is a war, and we have to win. So let's fight.
Time to deploy Sidney Sa and her team in the fight against the epidemic. In the Brazilian state of Sergipe, 70 employees are on their way from village to village, house to house. Since December, when Zika hit the headlines, the military has joined in efforts, commanded by the country's president. Every empty yogurt pot, every can is a potential breeding ground for mosquitoes.
It's a great thing for us. Soldiers have authority and protect our people if and when someone's unhappy about our visit.
Today's visit takes them to the outskirts of a small inland town. They're inspecting the home of Manuel Santos. He recently suffered from the painful chikungunya fever transmitted by the yellow fever mosquito.
Oh my God, look at this place. This is terrible, really awful. A yellow fever mosquito has everything it needs here to thrive.
Look,
an open washing tank. And here the dog's water bowls are just lying around uncovered. Come here, please. I want to show you something. You see those small things jerking about? Those are yellow fever mosquito larvae. And soon they'll be actual mosquitoes, you see? And they carry dengue and chikungunya fever, which you had yourself, and the Zika virus too. Look how easily you can destroy the mosquito eggs. Look, it's so easy.
You're here to help us with health problems, right?
But we need your help. We're here today, but we won't be tomorrow.
I do that all the time. But I'm a widower, and I live alone. I just want to say that sometimes there isn't time.
Under Sidney's watchful eye, Manuel Santos has to prove that he can scrub it himself.
People know the precautions, they just don't stick to them. It's really typical. We see it every day.
On they go to the next house, and it's a dump.
This is a full-blown mosquito party. The whole toilet is full of larvae. I'd really like to know why some people want to live like this. It's a lack of education and poor upbringing, and I feel bad for them. If we don't steer Brazil in the right direction quickly, then nothing will change as far as the mosquito situation is concerned.
The yellow fever mosquito is said to be present across 80% of Brazil. That's 4 times more than a decade ago.
Every single drop that falls in here can bring mosquitoes. So turn everything over.
But think of all the coconuts in Brazil, all the backyards. The breeding potential for mosquitoes is almost endless. Sidney Sa's work against the epidemic has never been more crucial.
For a good part of my day, I'm basically married to the mosquito. A large part of my life, too, actually. When my son was growing up, I missed a lot. Now he's already a young man. I've devoted my life to the yellow fever mosquito. I've studied them and learned how to fight them.
There's one major problem in the fight, though. The Maine's water in the region is often out for days, so there are water tanks everywhere, uncovered, a paradise for mosquitoes. Sidney repeats her simple message to the residents of this house. Years of campaigning and more recent appeals against Zika seem to go unnoticed out here in the countryside.
We really need help, something different. We need new techniques, innovations. It's inevitable to make sure no more babies are born with these problems.
Microcephaly is a condition that's gripped world headlines. Special consultations are held in this hospital in Aracaju, the state capital of Sergipe. There are 50 times more babies born with a brain that's too small compared to last year. Layane is almost 4 months old. All signs indicate that her mother had Zika during pregnancy. But there are no tests yet in Sergipe. It's a 4-hour drive to her parents' village. Since the baby was born, Diane Santos and her farmer husband Joao are struggling to make ends meet. Little Layane needs attention around the clock.
It's a lot of work. We're constantly driving to Aracaju. Last time I came back so shattered that I couldn't sleep. Everything hurts. Looking after our little one is a daily struggle. But her health comes first for us.
These water tanks are covered just as they should be.
Even long before my pregnancy, we always made sure not to leave any water standing around.
We're
scared of mosquitoes. If I see one, I kill it straight away.
Still, in the yard just a few meters away, trash and bottles are the perfect breeding ground for yellow fever mosquitoes.
It's not right, I know that really. I need to throw that away. And that should be turned over.
The local health center can't offer much help. Sidney Sa's task force have never been out here before. Sergipe is the size of Israel, so Sidney has to opt for spot checks. She takes daily trips into the depths of the country with her assistant of 8 years, driver Antonio.
He's my companion in the worst of battles. Isn't that right, buddy? We've already worked together on a massive dengue epidemic.
It's her charisma. That's why we all love to work with her.
They arrive in the next small town. These soldiers are always a welcome help for Sidney.
Aren't they beautiful? All in uniform, so nicely disciplined. What more do you want?
In this community, there's more hope than despair. The local awareness campaigns have triumphed. All they need here is guidance, not parenting. Most houses are mosquito-proof. And this house has a dengue-free sticker for all to see. The last stop of the day is a visit to this pregnant woman.
Como é que tá esse bebê? Tá bem. Tá bem. Quando começou
When the information about microcephaly and Zika came out, that was the start of your pregnancy, right?
começo da sua gestação.
Não, eu já estava já com
I was in my 4th month, but I wasn't too worried.
Eu já estava com 4 meses, mas também
The nurse made me really scared.
a minha enfermeira
She advised me to coat myself in mosquito repellent immediately.
certo que é logo no começo isso uso repelente.
E agora, os
But please,
cuidados
always continue to
continuam,
take precautions around the
porque o
house.
mosquito,
You need to be
o
careful,
ambiente. A gente tem que
especially
cuidar
because your
com o
baby son will
ambiente,
soon
com o
be here.
mosquito, até porque o João Lucas vai nascer.
But for today, no complaints. A successful trip.
Tchau, viu? Obrigada. Tchau, tchau.
Then an urgent message comes in from the health ministry.
Meu Deus,
Oh
cada
my
dia
God, there's something new
uma
every day.
novidade.
It's possible that the Zika virus is contagious between humans.
Eu só me assusto com as
I'm really
notícias que
shocked by
fico
the news we've
recebendo.
just got.
Não necessariamente
I don't
eu
want to talk
preciso
too
estar
much about
passando
it,
pra vocês,
but I can tell you
mas
that it's
deixa a
scary.
cabeça de qualquer ser
One thing
humano
certain, though, the
entrar em
yellow fever
parafuso.
mosquito is
Então,
transmitter
a única
number
certeza
1.
que a gente tem é
That's why
que
I'd like
o
to say
mosquito,
well
nesse
done
momento, é que
and
é o
thank you
grande
for your work.
transmissor. Parabéns
Take care
mais uma vez
and
pro
see you
trabalho
next
de
week.
vocês, viu? E tchauzinho, até quinta.
Next week, Sidney Sa's struggle goes on as she continues her uphill battle against the mosquitoes, one small step at a time.
Vamos embora, tchau, gente.